Chapter 72. I've got the tiniest bit of power left in my phone, so I called Mum. The number you have dialed has not been recognised. Please check the number and try again. So I do, even though the number is in my phone memory as Mum Mob. The number you have dialed has not been recognised. Please check the number again and try again. I'm about to give it another go when the phone dies. I get a sick feeling in the bottom of my stomach. This is not going the way I had hoped. Mind you, the way I had feared, not so long ago, when I was back in 1984, was a lot worse and basically involved me being dead or never existing. So I'm kind of stuck between dread and hope, and it's not a nice feeling. Perhaps Mum's changed her mobile. Perhaps the network is down, whatever that means. More likely there's a fault on my phone caused by travelling through the eons of space-time. Grandpa Byron would put things right. He'd never let me down. That is what I'm telling myself on my walk to Grandpa Byron's house, but I'm not convincing myself, however hard I try, for in my heart I know that something has gone very, very wrong. You see, by rights, according to the grandfather paradox, I should not exist at all because my father died in a tragic accident when he was 12 and could never have fathered me. But here I am, so clearly that bit of time travel theory is rubbish. The thing is, I'm scared about what else might be happening. As soon as I walk up to Grandpa Byron's front path, my fears increase. Where is his moped? Why is the front door painted a different colour? Where are the wind chimes tinkling by the side door? I ring the doorbell anyway, and when a lady answers that I've never seen before, I just mutter, sorry, wrong house, and quickly walk away. It's getting late and dark, and I'm feeling weak with hunger. I'm thirsty and almost dizzy, though trying to piece together what's happening. Don't get me wrong, I have worked out the basics, as no doubt have you. In case you haven't, here's a neat list. Incidentally, a neat list is just about the absolute opposite of how these thoughts are arranged in my head. Even arranged is wrong. What's happening in there is total chaos. Thoughts and fears colliding and contracting with what-ifs, forming a noisy queue, trying to cancel each other out. But anyway, here goes. 1. When Pi drowned, a lot changed. Okay. A nice gentle start, hang on for the bumpy ride. So, 2, Pi didn't grow up to meet Mum and become father to me, which means 3, he didn't die 4 years ago. So, 4, Mum didn't meet Steve and move in with him and me and Carly. Yes, I worked that out, but there's a 5th thing that is nagging in my mind, and that is 5. Grandpa Byron didn't then move from Culvercott to Blythe. And there's a 6th thing as well, but I hardly dare allow myself to think it or write it, but I'm going to have to, so here it is. 6. If Pi died when he was 12, and he did, I was there, then he wasn't alive to be on the beach with Grandpa Byron and the other Indians that day, the day that Mum nearly drowned. In other words, quite apart from the fact that I don't understand what I'm doing here in some weird space bubble, where I have no parents or home and by rights should not even be alive, I may also be more or less direct reason that my mum died sometime in the mid-90s for being more or less direct reason my dad died 10 years before. And this is why I'm wandering the streets muttering to myself, blinking hard and trying to create some order out of the traffic jam of confusion in my head. Sitting down on the wall, I take off my backpack and take out the box that holds Alan Shearer. Letting him run over my hands and up my arm always makes me smile, and I put him down next to a little puddle for him to take a drink. Then he circles around for a bit and licks his tiny hands. I should say paws, but really if you look at a hamster's paws, they're just like hands, so that's how I think of them with Alan Shearer. It's the distraction offered by my hamster that clears my head. You know when sometimes a traffic jam, there's a gap ahead, and once you're there, everything speeds up and suddenly all the revving and the honking is behind you? It's like that. Putting Alan Shearer back in his carry box, I turn down the street that leads to the coast road and the buses to Culvercott, and I start running. Partly because the bus is approaching and partly because I suddenly know where I need to go.